Hello class, my name is Oscar Reed. I am originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm shooting this video from Houston, Texas, where I live now. I am a graduate from Prairie View A&M University in 2009. There I graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I also played Division I baseball for the university. Baseball's pretty much been a part of my life for 20 years. After the draft didn't happen, kind of didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I knew I didn't want to have anything to do with criminal justice, and there's a funny story behind why I studied criminal justice that I'll get into later. But pretty much after college, I went back home to New Orleans and worked for an oil company. I interned for them while I was in college. Whenever I wasn't playing ball or whatever, I'd go do a little work for them. Long story short, they hired me full-time after college. Knew that's not where I wanted my life to go. So I did a lot of research while I was at home. The entire time working at the oil plant, I had a goal for myself. I wouldn't be there more than a year. So kind of talked to a relative of mine about, the future and things like that. And he asked me one question that kind of stuck with me. He was like, well, what do you know? What are you interested in? And I said, I'm interested in sports. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing my entire life. And he said, well, you need to try to go get your master's degree. And what about sports administration or sports management? So a light went off. I did some research that night, and it was like 6 months research on just sports and things that I'm interested in. So I came up with the idea of I'd be real interested in being either a general manager or an athletic director. So I kind of chose the career route that would be more realistic towards me, and I feel like an AD is really reachable. So all athletic directors that I looked up, they all had their master's degrees. That's what they had in common. Some of them played pro ball. Majority of them didn't. So you don't have to be, in my research, you don't have to be a professional athlete, a former professional athlete, to be an athletic director, which is good because I didn't make it to the pros, obviously. So I did my research on being an athletic director, and I said, man, well, what route can I take to being an AD? So this is how the Lord works. The phone rings, while I'm at my desk at work, and it's my old high school. They called, they wanted me to be the head coach for their baseball team. They called, it was like, Oscar, we've been following you. You're the only one played D1 out of the 2004 class, the only one graduated. My first answer was no, because I was frustrated with baseball. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. But they offered $1,500, so I said I'd think about it and I'd call you back. So I prayed about it. Ended up taking the job, first head coach job out of college. It was a varsity baseball team, which was a blessing. We went 20-8. I fell in love with the kids, fell in love with what I was doing, which was coaching, because I got a lot of information, about baseball. So I prayed about it again. I said, well, look, if I'm going to coach, I'd like to do it on the college level. So did more research on college baseball coaches. It's less than 5% of anybody that coaches in college that becomes an athletic director. But there is a chance. It is a percentage. So the route I'm taking into becoming an athletic director, because I don't want to coach when I'm 60-something years old. I'd like to run the entire sports program for a university. So I'm going to take the coaching route. So I came up with a plan to either move to Houston or Atlanta. Long story short, I'm in Houston because I got into grad school. I got into Canisius College, and I can do an internship with coaching at a university while in college. So the online school, the online sports administration program worked perfect for me and my schedule. So now I had to come up with a plan to get in touch with these big-time six-figure athletic directors in the Houston area. So what I did was I sent out a mass email to University of Houston Baptist, Texas Southern University, and Prairie View A&M University. Everybody responded to my email besides my own school, Prairie View A&M University. No disrespect, but you guys didn't write me back. But long story short, I went on 3 meetings. One got canceled, and I didn't know it got canceled until I got there. Very unprofessional. I'm not even going to call out that university. University of Houston, they did an amazing job. The athletic director I met with there, Mr. Dunn, brought me in his office. As me and him talking, he gave me pretty good insight on what he thinks I need to do to get where I need to go in my route to becoming a coach and maybe someday an AD. And the university that showed me the most love and really gave me the most attention, I went on 3 meetings with them, was Houston Baptist University. I went on a meeting there and sat down with the AD. Before going into the meeting, I read up on him. He did a lot of things that I'm trying to do. He coached out of college at a university somewhere, and he was, I think, an assistant AD for Rice University for a while, and now he's an assistant athletic director at Houston Baptist University. His name, by the way, is Mr. David Moss. We still keep in touch today. We met 3 times. The 3rd time he introduced me to the head baseball coach. The coach listened to my story. He listened to what I'm trying to do, gave me a lot of advice on what route to go with trying to be a college coach. And, you know, at the end of the day, in the fall, he offered me a spot on his roster to coach. And another spot, Mr. Moss, the assistant AD, offered me to intern with him, under him, starting next fall. And by me doing those 2 things, that'll count towards the 6 credits for Canisius College, which would be amazing. So I kind of knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll be getting my experience, getting that grad assistant internship out the way with coaching. So hopefully, you know, jobs will open up and things like that when I'm done with school. If not, this is where I want my life to go. I want to be a Division I college baseball coach. I got a lot of information that I can pass on to younger guys, and maybe it might help them get to the next level, because, you know, I did a lot of things right. I hit over 356. That was my career batting average in Division I. They said something about I was too old. 22 in baseball is too old, so, you know. But I'm happy and content where my life is right now. I still got a lot of goals that I want to achieve, but I'm here today at Canisius College to obtain my master's degree, hopefully in about a year and a half maybe. And the ultimate goal is to be an athletic director, but the first goal right now for me is to be one of the youngest Division I coaches in the country. That's my little story in a nutshell. Again, class, I am Oscar Reed. I look forward to working with everybody, and y'all take care. Thank you.